Hi Desirae! Hope you are quickly getting back to 100% and feeling at least better today than on Tuesday, if you're not already totally up and running again by now. So I am even more impressed than usual with your progress. Every single thing that you sent this week, theory was totally perfect. Everything else really advanced, and you can tell that there was a lot of good progress made on everything. So really awesome job. We'll start with the theory. Like I said, everything you sent me was perfect. Gorgeous note names as usual. Notes written in. And you had, it looks like, no trouble with let me take a quick look. Oh yeah, with your sharps and your flats and making sure you got all of those correct. A lot of the time that can be pretty tricky on this section because when we're working with the tetrachords, you can kind of get into this habit of, just going through the motions of your four notes and then stringing them together, and you were still, it looks like, paying attention to what you actually need to make all of your whole and half steps accurate. You did a wonderful job. So again, I've never seen tetrachords used anywhere outside of these theory books, so if it was helpful to you to think about the scales that way, awesome. If you were actually using a different technique, like just remembering the whole and half step pattern for a normal scale, or just going by maybe playing the scales or remembering which notes are in the scale, whatever really works best for you, that's what you should stick with. But if this was helpful for you, then that's just one more tool that you have when you're working on notes in a scale, whole and half steps, all that stuff. Okay, so for next week, we're gonna do another 2 pages in the book. We're gonna do 44 and 45. If you notice on these 2 pages, we're going in a little bit of a different direction now. We're starting to pay more attention to our key signatures. So we're just starting really easy with 3 of the most basic key signatures. The first one is C major, no sharps, no flats. Really familiar with that one. And then we're also going to have G major, which has an F sharp in it, and F major, which has a B flat. So on page 44, they're just going to have you name the 3 key signatures and then draw in the key signatures right beneath that. So they explain them all, and then you will name them and then draw them in. So nothing super crazy. And then on page 45, this is where you are given a little bit more to work with. You get a little musical example, and there are 3 of them, so there'll be 1 in each key, and you're just going to identify what key signature goes with each example. Okay, should be pretty straightforward there. And then let's see, let's do Romanian Rhapsody next. So this one, your rhythm is so perfect. It is fantastic. I love it so much. And we had a really smooth jump from the first line to the second line, even with that repeat and this kind of unique intro section, starting it off with the left hand. You did such a great job. And then we've got these kind of syncopated rhythms showing up in the second line, and you totally got them correct. It was awesome. Staccatos are looking good, phrasing is looking good, all your notes are there. So now we're gonna go on and look at the third line of this piece. We're gonna just start at hands alone. Now you'll notice your left hand is only playing F chords. So you don't really have much to worry about for left hand. Your right hand is where we're gonna spend most of our time in practice this week. You have a totally new melodic section for your right hand here, and you will definitely want to be paying close attention to 2 things here. 1 is your finger numbers, and 2 would be your B flats. So on the third line, here, I'll do it this way. On the third line, you can see, here's all of our F chords for left hand. Woo! Now up here, we've got a lot of these finger numbers showing up, right? The nice thing is whenever you actually need to cross over or under or do some kind of move, all of those finger numbers are written in a circle. So you know if you see a finger number that's circled, that is involving some kind of move, okay? Now you do have some other ones in there that you don't have to move for, but they still give them to you anyway, so you want to pay really close attention to those. Make sure you're following all of their finger numbering that they've written in for you. And then we have some added flats in this section, but we also are going to have quite a few of these B flats. So that's going to be a little easier to forget because we don't see the B flat written on every B, right? It's just in the key signature. So you just want to make sure as you practice that you're double checking to get all of those finger numbers and then all of the B flats. And we should be good to go. Now, if you get bored with it after a few days and you want to try and put hands together on your own, go for it. If you'd rather just focus on the right hand by itself for a week and then we'll put it together on Tuesday, that's totally fine too. Up to you, okay? So that is Romanian Rhapsody. Let's talk about the Up in Touch next. So this one looks fabulous. All of your combinations for 2 notes or for 3 notes, you did a wonderful job this week. So what we're gonna do this time is we're gonna stick with just the combination of 2s. So 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, right? That we're really familiar with now. We're just gonna do 2-note combos for this week, but we're gonna use the E major pentascale and the F major pentascale. So for E, you'll have, let's see, bring this over here. Oh, and try and not go too Cloverfield on you. Okay, let's see. That is not showing my hand. This may be a very failed experiment. I'm gonna give it one little try here. It might be looking backwards too. Okay, well, just to go over which notes we're gonna use to help make that simpler for you. For E, you're gonna have E, F sharp, G sharp, A, and B. And then for the F pentascale, you'll use F, G, A, B flat, and C. Okay, so hopefully that's, oh, hello. Getting you lots of fun shots today. Okay, hopefully that is more helpful than weird and distracting. Anyway, you'll be able to tell by the sound whether you have all the right notes in your pentascale patterns. So we're just gonna do those 2-note patterns on E and F. What we're gonna focus on this week that's a little different from before is getting our speed up a little bit, okay? So instead of having kind of this for our pacing, which is where we've been hanging out, we've got that down beautifully. So now we're gonna try a little more about this pace. Okay, so we want to just up our tempo a little bit. It doesn't have to be super fast. And again, we still want to keep this nice up in motion. All right, but this time we'll focus on making sure that we're moving through the exercise a little bit faster with our 2 new pentascale patterns. And then the last thing we had was Amazing Grace, which sounds awesome. Again, you made such good progress on it this week. You can tell there's just a few places left where we're having to think a little bit about the movement and taking a little extra time to get both hands ready where they need to be. I'm sure more for the left hand than the right hand with all of those big chord jumps. So what I'd like to do with this is actually just keep it the same for 1 more week so we can really focus on those places where we still need a little extra time to get that feeling really comfy. Next time, we're gonna start going over some alternate left hand patterns. So it's gonna get a little bit more interesting, a little bit more varied, and we'll kind of go through a couple different options because that's the big advantage of working with lead sheets, right? You can have a lot of different variety working off the same information on the page as long as you know which options are available to you. So 1 more week, the same practice that we've been doing, and then next time we'll start to dig into those. And then I'd also like for you, we were gonna do a scale. I think I would rather start a new Hanon this week. So let's go ahead and start Hanon number 6. I'd rather wait till we can go through the scale together, again, so I don't make you nauseous trying to move my iPad around here to show you on the keyboard all the fingering and everything. So that will be completely fine. We'll focus on Hanon instead of a new scale, and then we will get to that in the future. So we'll take a look at Hanon number 6. All I want you to do is work on the ascending pattern, so just the first page, and just start with the right hand, okay? This is gonna be a little bit more independent study style, so basically whatever you're able to do with it this week will be great, okay? So whether that's just getting used to the right hand pattern, whether it's right hand and left hand, whether you get a little bit hands together. I don't expect you to really do more than the first page, so whatever you're able to do with that and spend time on it for, then that'll be awesome, and we'll pick up there next week. And then that's pretty much it. So no pressure with that, just whatever you're able to do, okay? I think that is everything, so I will get this all sent off to you, and then I will see you next week. Have a great rest of your week.